Every decision carries a price. The question is not whether you'll pay, but when. Welcome to Thrive Steps. My name is Victor John Edets, and on this episode, I will be speaking to you on the cost of silence. Have you ever ignored a bill for a long time that when you finally looked at it, it had become much bigger than you expected? That's exactly what happened with my purpose. For 3 years, I wasn't paying attention to it. I wasn't feeding it. I wasn't nurturing it. I wasn't showing up for it. And one day, I looked at my life and realized something sobering. Silence isn't free. It never has been. Every day I delayed, I was paying a price I couldn't immediately see. That's the dangerous thing about compromise. It rarely demands payment upfront. It lets you enjoy today's comforts while quietly charging tomorrow's potential. I thought I was saving my energy. In reality, I was spending my future. I will be sharing with you 5 things I lost in the period of 3 years. The first cost, I lost momentum. Momentum is one of God's greatest gifts. Have you ever pushed a stalled car? The hardest part isn't keeping it moving. The hardest part is getting it moving. Once the wheels begin to roll, every push becomes easier. But if you stop, you have to start all over again. That's exactly what happened to me. When I first started Thrive Steps, ideas came naturally. I was reading differently, observing life differently. Every conversation became a lesson. Every challenge became content. Every experience became an opportunity to teach someone else. Then I stopped. When I stopped creating, I also stopped seeing the world through the eyes of a creator. That's something many people don't realize. When you stop using a gift, your sensitivity to that gift begins to fade. Not because God took it away, but because gifts grow through use. Jesus said in Luke 16 verse 10, "Whoever is faithful with very little will also be faithful with much." Faithfulness is not measured only by what we begin, it's measured by what we continue. The second cost, I lost confidence. This one surprised me. Confidence doesn't disappear overnight, it erodes quietly. Every promise you make to yourself and fail to keep becomes evidence against your own credibility. Think about that. When you tell yourself, "I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and you don't, your mind notices. When you say, "I'll write tomorrow," and tomorrow comes and goes, your mind notices. When you promise, "I'll restart the podcast next month," and you don't, your mind notices. Eventually, your subconscious begins to ask, "Why should I believe you anymore?" Confidence is built on kept promises, not promises made to other people, promises made to yourself. One of the greatest forms of integrity is self-integrity. Can I trust myself to do what I said I will do? That question changed me. The third cost, I lost opportunities. One truth I've had to accept is this: opportunities don't wait forever. There were conversations I could have started, people I could have reached, leaders I could have connected with, young people who might have been encouraged, communities that may have benefited from these conversations. I'll never know how many. And perhaps that's the hardest part. The opportunities you miss rarely send goodbye messages. They simply move on. Ecclesiastes reminds us that there is a time for every purpose under heaven. There is a moment in life that carries unique possibilities. Delay too long, that moment passes. That doesn't mean God cannot open new doors. He absolutely can. But wisdom teaches us not to take open doors for granted. The fourth cost, I lost my creative rhythm. Have you noticed that creativity is like a river? When it's flowing, ideas seem endless. But if the river is blocked long enough, the water becomes still, stagnant. Not because the source disappeared, but because movement stopped. During those years, I still had ideas. I would hear a sermon and think, that would make a great episode. I'll read a book and think, I need to share this. I'll have a meaningful conversation and think, this could help someone. Then another voice would whisper, write it down later. Later became never. And the notebook of unwritten ideas kept growing. Here's the lesson. Inspiration has an expiration date if it isn't acted upon. Capture it. Develop it. share it. Don't assume it will always return with the same intensity. The fifth cost: I lost sight of who I was becoming. This is the deepest loss of all. Not followers, not downloads, not numbers, identity. There's a version of you that only emerges when you're faithful to your assignments. Every act of obedience shapes your character. Every step of consistency forms your identity. When I stopped walking in that rhythm, I noticed something. I wasn't just missing podcast episodes. I was missing opportunities to become the man God was shaping me to be. Purpose isn't merely about what you produce. Purpose transforms the producer. The assignment changes the assigned. That realization broke me because I understood that my greatest loss wasn't external, it was internal. Here's a hard truth I had to accept, and I want to be honest with you. For a while, I blamed circumstances. I blamed my schedule. I blamed responsibilities. I blamed pressure. And yes, those things were real. But eventually, God confronted me with a question I couldn't escape. Victor, who gave excuses more authority than purpose? That question pierced me because excuses are always persuasive. They sound reasonable. They sound responsible. Sometimes they even sound spiritual. I'll do it when the timing is right. I'll do it when life calms down. I'll do it when I have more money. I'll do it when I feel ready. But readiness is really the prerequisite for greatness. Faithfulness is. Noah wasn't ready. Moses didn't feel qualified. Jeremiah thought he was too young. Gideon believed he was insignificant. Peter carried the shame of failure. Yet God walked through people who chose obedience over comfort. Perhaps God isn't waiting for perfect people. Perhaps He's looking for available people. I've come to believe that one of the greatest tragedies in life is not failure, it's unused potential. Imagine standing before God one day, not being asked, why weren't you famous? Not, why weren't you wealthy? Not, why didn't everyone know your name? But hearing this question, what did you do with what I placed inside you? That question humbles me because gifts are not possession to admire. They are responsibilities to steward. Every talent is an assignment. Every opportunity is a trust. Every idea is a seed. And seeds were never meant to stay in our hands. They were meant to be planted. So one morning, during my time of reflection, I realized something that changed everything. I had spent years asking, why is this happening to me? But I should have been asking, what is God trying to build in me? Those are two completely different questions. The first seeks escape. The second seeks transformation. Maybe your current season isn't designed to stop you. Maybe it's designed to strengthen you. Gold isn't destroyed by fire. It's refined by it. Pressure doesn't always reveal weaknesses. Sometimes it reveals hidden strength. James 1 reminds us that testing of our faith produces perseverance, not punishment, perseverance. God is often more interested in building our character than preserving our comforts. That realization marked a turning point. I stopped seeing those 3 years only as wasted time. Instead, I began asking, what can these years teach me that success never could? Because every setback carries a lesson. Every failure contains wisdom. Every detour can become a lesson if we are humble enough to learn. The silence was painful, but it became a teacher. And in the next episode, I will be sharing with you the lessons that changed me forever. Not theories, not cliches, but principles forged in real life, refined through scripture, and tested in the quiet places where no one was watching. Because sometimes, before God restores your platform, He first restores the person standing on it. I'll see you in the next episode.